Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday? These days, we made a calendar, still not remembering what day it is. Today we're going to work on this book called Bird Hugs. And I've been enjoying this book there goes Alice. I've been enjoying this book for a few weeks. We got it at the library, and then we re-got it before the library closed down for the coronavirus. And I'm so happy we kept it because it's really cool. So today's activity, you have two to choose from. One is if you're feeling very introspective, which means you want to think more inwardly and ponder yourself and ponder your place in the world. Or if you want to think more art-wise, Bird Hugs by Jed Adamson. Sigh. Bernard wasn't like other birds. When he was a baby, he didn't know he was different. Look, Orla, I'm a bat. Life was simple and fun. Woo! Blarp, blarp, blarp. Then Bernard's friends began to fly. No matter how many times he tried, it was something he couldn't seem to do himself. One by one, the other birds left in search of new places. I'll learn to fly soon, won't I? Said Bernard. Of course you will, said Orla. But the next day, she was gone too. Bernard was all alone. Maybe he just needed a little help. Creak. Peck, 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 peck. That's right, Lawrence, said Bernard. Keep pecking that rope. I'm flying! Snap, twing. But he wasn't. Groan. Embarrassed by his useless wings, he tried to make them smaller. Then he wondered if it might be better to pretend they were something else. A scarf, for instance. A nice big bow. It was hopeless. Bernard felt utterly sorry for himself. He found a lonely branch and made it his home. Look at all that rain. Tell he's really feeling sorry for himself. Look at his eyes and his eyebrows. Days turned into nights. Seasons changed. Different creatures came and went. Bernard barely noticed them. Bernard sure seems dejected and sad and maybe a tad bit depressed. But then, one evening, he heard a sound. Sob! It was coming from someone even more dejected than Bernard. I feel very sad, and I'm not sure why, wailed the orangutan. Bernard jumped up and with his huge, long wings gave the orangutan a big hug. The orangutan stopped crying and sighed. After a while, he stood up and stretched. That's made me feel a whole lot better, he said. Thank you, kind bird. Back at his branch, Bernard thought that maybe his wings were good for something after all. And for the first time in a long while, he slept soundly and woke refreshed, which was just as well. We want hugs! Look at Bernard. Bernard hugged a bear and a rabbit and a whole group of birds. He hugged a very ticklish crocodile, slip, and a very slippery frog. Even a worm wanted a hug, which you'll agree was pretty brave of the worm. Hug? Why was it brave of the worm to want a hug from Bernard the bird? Now, every morning, without fail, there was a line. The animals told Bernard their problems. They can be lonely at the top of the food chain. It's hard being the youngest. And he listened. Sleeping during the day makes me feel like I'm missing all the fun. Bernard didn't feel sorry for himself anymore, and all the hugging had made his wings feel strong, maybe even strong enough for flying! This is amazing! Whoa! Crash! There's more to life than flying, I suppose, said Bernard. Hello, Bernard. Play with us, Bernard. Oh, hi, Bernard. Much more. Hey, Bernard. Bernard, my man. Yo, Bernard. Bernard. Bernard discovered that helping the other animals had given him something he hadn't expected. New friends. And friends can help you do anything. Okay, so now that you've heard the book, you have two choices. You can do the introspective art challenge, or you can do the art break challenge. Your choice. So the first one is going to be the introspective, where you think more internally and you think about who you are and what it means to be who you are. Okay, so Bernard had this thing. He had these super long wings, right? And he couldn't use them to fly, and he felt very weird, and he felt kind of left out and stuff. Everybody has something that makes them different, right? Yesterday we were talking about families, and families being different, and all families are different. So now we're going to talk about ourselves and how we might be different. So Bernard found his wings to be a problem in the beginning, and then slowly realized that, hey, this is not a problem. This is awesome. I want you to think about what you have that makes you slightly different, and what you can do to turn it into something good. So I have some friends out there who, like me, are fidgeters, and they always have to be moving. They're like, oh, I have to touch all the things. What kind of superpower could you turn that into? What could be so amazing if you could fidget the world away? Or what could you spend your time fidgeting? Maybe you turn into an inventor. And rather than just sitting there and fidgeting with like a spinner, you're fidgeting with Legos to create the newest sculpture that'll be 17 feet tall and will house the world whatever. Or maybe you're a fidgeter like I am and you have to knit constantly in meetings so your mouth doesn't get you into trouble, and you end up knitting hats for all sorts of people or for whoever. I mean, think about what makes you a little bit different and how you can turn that into a superpower. I have some friends who talk a lot without listening. There are these places called think tanks where you get paid to just talk and talk and talk and come up with a billion ideas. Maybe your superpower, even though talking a lot can be tricky, maybe your superpower is that you're going to create a think tank, or you're going to work at a think tank and you're going to solve the world's problems. So think about what makes you a little bit different and how you can turn it into something awesome, like Bernard and his wings. Now, for those of you who don't want to be introspective and think more internally about you and your place in the world, what I love art-wise about this book is the way that the illustrator draws the animals, layers the color down, and then does texture over the color in a slightly different color. So you can see on Bernard's wings, Bernard has white on the purple. You can see on the bear, we have light brown. I was going to call it white. It's not white, it's light brown. So looking at the art in this book, you can see on the orangutan, that it's orange with yellow texture on the top. So what I'd like you to do, if you're not feeling introspective, that's fine, I'd like you to draw an animal, and I'd like you to put a color down for its fur, or its skin, or its scales. And then I would like you to add a different color and create the texture on your animal. All right. And then show me, because I've been missing your artwork. I'd love to see more. All right. Or just show me a picture of you at work, because I miss seeing you all work. Okay. Stay safe. Stay home. Make art. Read. Sleep. Be happy. See you next time.